Jared Poland, FroKnowsPhoto.com, here with the Nikon D3100 Beginner's User's Guide. So congratulations, you just picked up a Nikon D3100. What do we do with it now? You've got a box, you've got cables, you've got batteries, you've got chargers, you've got straps, you've got a camera with a lot of buttons. What do these buttons mean? So what I'm going to do in this video is run through the basics. Proper battery maintenance, how to use the battery, how to charge the battery, how to put the lens on the camera, how to take it off the camera, what each button means around this dial and on the camera. And then later on in a user's guide that I am writing that is linked in the, what do we call it? Linked in the post, so you'll see it. If you're on YouTube, click the post, click the button, it will take you over to FroKnowsPhoto.com, where then you can get more detailed explanations on what each setting mode means and go from there. Something to remember in this camera is that it has, when you get the camera, it has a manual. The manual is useful. You should read the manual. It has all the information in there that will explain what each button is and things like that, which I'm going to try to do right now. But remember that there is a question mark on the back here, and I'm going to get to that a little later, what that question mark does. But the very first thing that you get, you have a battery. So in order to use the camera, you need a battery. We know that you need power to make these things work. It also comes with a charger. This charger has the built-in prongs that go into the wall, fold back up, and take with you. So there's no extra cords that you actually need to make this work. Good rule of thumb with batteries. You should charge it when you first get it. You should let it fully charge before you take it off the charger. Then, when you're using it, a good rule of thumb is let it run all the way down when you're shooting or after you're shooting before you fully charge it back up. Now, I'm not saying let it go fully down when you have a very important photo shoot. I'm just saying that these batteries have a life. They probably are chargeable, up to 1,000 times before they start losing a little bit of their power or a little bit of how much charge they will hold. These batteries are very good. You're going to get a lot of video, a lot of photo taking and recording and video recording out of each one. So to charge it, you have a contact here and a contact here. You pop it right in, it clicks in, it's not falling out. It's going to be charging when you plug it in the wall. The light's going to blink. It tells you right here, if it's blinking, it's charging. When it's a solid light, it's fully charged. There you go, simples of battery charging. How to put the battery in the camera. On the bottom of the camera, you have a door. You flick open the door. There is a more rounded side to the battery that you put right into the camera. You press it in, it slides down. The door will press it the rest of the way. So now your camera has the ability to turn on and power up. But before we turn the camera on, you have a lens. Some of you got the 18-55 VR lens that came with the kit. Others got the 2-lens kit with the 55-200, or maybe even the 55-300. So how do we put the camera and lens together? Well, first you're going to take off the cap that came with the camera, which is your front protection cap, which you should keep on if you don't have a lens on the camera. A good rule of thumb is to keep the camera off anytime you are changing the lens so that we do not let dust get inside the camera. So this is how you put the lens on the camera. There is a white dot on the lens and there is a white dot on the camera. If you line the two of them up, just like this, it seats right into the camera. Then you twist it and you hear the click. So this is what you're going to hear. Click. That means the lens is now on the camera. To take it off, there's a button. It's the lens release button right here. You press it in, you twist the lens the other way, and it comes off. So it's pretty simple. Just be careful that you don't touch the mirror. You don't want to touch any of the other things in the camera because you don't want to compromise it or break it. So you just line up your dots, click, boom, done. Your lens is now on your camera. So that's the basics of putting the lens on the camera. Let's run through all of the dials and modes, not all of the modes, but just what all these buttons mean on the back of the camera, on the top of the camera, how to turn it on, and everything like that. So to turn it on, you see something that says off, you see something that says on. This is your shutter button. This is what's going to take the picture and autofocus the camera. You flick this to the right. Now on lines up with this line, and your camera is on. Off, on, press it, you can get a picture as long as you have a memory card in there. That brings us to memory cards. You need an SD card to make this camera work, or in order to record pictures, you need an SD card. The SD card is where it's like your film. Your image is saved right here. There is a notch on one corner. There's a picture on the camera right behind this door that you press this way to open, and the notch is showing you that the notch should be up. There's only one way you can put it in. It won't let you put it in wrong. Don't force it if you have it going in wrong, because you don't want to get the card stuck or break it. It's on a spring. You press it in. You go like this. You now have a card in the camera. You have an info button up top. You have a plus minus button up top. The info button will turn on the screen and show you all of the latest information. Turn off the sound there. The plus minus button is what you're going to use if you're in the manual modes to change your aperture. You press that down. It allows you to turn this back dial and change your aperture. Looking right here on the camera, you have this switch that moves forward 3 clicks and down 3 clicks. There's a picture of an S. A picture of an S? Yes, there's an S with a box around it. That means single frame. You're going to shoot 1 frame every time you push the button. So, here we go. I am going to focus. That beep you hear tells me that it's in focus. I press the shutter button, the silver button right here, and I get 1 picture. I hold my finger down after I take it. It's not taking any more pictures. In the next mode with the multiple boxes, 3 boxes, that means it's going to continuously shoot as you hold your finger down. All right, so you hear that it's racking through images, probably 3 frames, 3.5 frames a second. That's a good way to shoot a lot of pictures. Then you have your, what looks like a clock. It's like a timer. It's your timed shooting mode. Once you press the button, you're going to see this light blink. You're going to hear this beeping noise. I have it set to 10 seconds. You can make it shorter. Boom. So, at the very end of the beeping, you hear the beep, 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 click. So that lets you know that the picture is coming up, as well as the light will blink quicker. The final mode is quiet mode. You no longer will hear the beep when it's in focus, and it basically holds the mirror up longer so that it doesn't flop down and make more noise. You can hear more noise on regular than when you're on quiet. Oh, I didn't get the quiet. It's not that big of a deal here. It's not that much of a difference in terms of sound, but they give you that option. It's nice to have buttons on the outside side. So now we're looking at the mode dial. You have guide mode, which is new for Nikon here, that will literally bring up a menu on the back of the camera using pictures to run you through how to set up your camera, basically explaining everything to you. So that's if you put it in the guide. The green button, or the green dial that says auto, is just that, auto. The camera's setting everything for you. Auto ISO, it's setting everything. So it's basically set it, shoot, you get a picture, you live with it because you're in auto mode. The camera's going to do all the work. Then there's the one that it's full auto, but without allowing the flash to pop up. In this case, if I go like this, I am in auto mode, and it thinks I need more light, so it's going to pop the flash up automatically. But what happens when they tell you, hey, no flash photography in the museum? How do you get around that if you don't know? The next button on the dial it's a flash, a lightning bolt with a circle and a line through it saying no flash. So now the flash is not, I'm pressing the button, I'm going like this, the flash will not pop up in this auto mode. You have the portrait, which is the lady with the hat. You've got the landscape. You've got a flower. Oh, no, that's a person. That's a kid. I guess it's for the kids mode. You have a person running, which is for sports. You have a flower, which is for more taking macro shots or pictures of flowers. And then you have a night portrait, which is a person with a star behind them. That's for if you were shooting at night. So all of these are auto modes. The camera is going to make all the decisions for you, opposed to you setting everything manually. It's not bad to start with, get a feel for what's going on before you then venture off into those manual modes. So we'll start in the manual modes right now explaining that. P stands for program. It's basically auto, but you now have the ability to change more options like your ISO, and other picture control settings that you couldn't do in auto. Auto's taking care of everything. Program is taking care of your shutter, your shutter speed, your aperture, and you set your ISO unless you left it on auto ISO. So you're starting to get a little bit more manual controls, as well as it turns on some other options in the menu that you couldn't get to in the beginning if you were on auto. S stands for shutter priority. Shutter priority means you set the shutter speed, the camera's going to set the aperture. Then there's A, aperture priority. You set the aperture and the camera's going to set the shutter speed. So it's going to compensate. So that's what those modes mean. And then you have manual. You set the aperture, you set the shutter speed. You're also going to set the ISO unless you left it in auto ISO. Manual is something that you're going to learn to do in the future when you're ready to venture out of auto. The manual modes let you select everything and tweak the images the way that you would want to tweak them. So that takes us all the way around the mode dial. Now let's go to the back of the camera. The first button on the top left is your playback button. You press the playback button and it's going to show you the images that are on your card. In order to change the image, you press, in this case, left or right, and that's going to cycle through your images. Up and down is going to turn on your different playback information modes that are in the camera. So right below the play button is the menu button. That's how you get into your menu options. And then right below that is that question mark. So you have a question mark, you have a minus magnifying glass. The magnifying glass means that you can then zoom out of the photo. Underneath that is the plus. Pretty simple stuff. Magnify the photo. But this question mark is a very important button. Press the menu button, then press that question mark. It's going to basically tell you what each setting means. So if you're in here and it says image comment, I want to know what image comment means. Okay, add a comment up to 36 characters in length to 2 new images. So it's basically your user's guide is built right into the camera. That's awesome. At least you're going to read it. You want to know what something means? You hold down the question mark and it tells you. What does HDMI mean? Choose settings for connections via HDMI. You don't know what, let's see, you don't know what image quality means? You hold this down. Choose a file format and image quality for new images. So everything is there. Your guide is basically your user's manual is built into here. Use it. That's how you're going to learn what everything does in your camera. Then there's the info button on the back. The info button is going to give you all of the information that is available on the camera. You can make changes by pressing the info button and then arrowing through the different settings, and you can make different changes by hitting the OK button, and then you can make all of your changes right there. So just play with this stuff. Trial and error. Play with it. You're going to figure it out. One of the last buttons here that we're going to talk about, you have this spring-loaded trigger. By moving the spring-loaded trigger to the right, you're activating live view or also video mode. To record in video mode, you're going to press the record button, the red record button. To get out of video mode, you press the trigger again. You have your 4-way dial. It's more than 4 ways these days, but it's the up, down, left, right, BA, select, start. That doesn't work. That does not unlock more men. OK button, that's how you're going to select things. Pretty simple. And then the trash can. The trash can is for deleting images that you don't want. My recommendation, don't delete images off the camera because they may look better on your screen when you get them back on there. So that's the delete button. You would have to hit it twice. It will want you to verify that you're ready to delete, and then you do that. There's also these holes in the bottom corner. This is your not your microphone. This is the speaker. Your speaker's behind here for hearing back your video playback. That's what that is. And then on the front of the camera, in front of that D3100, right up top above it is where your microphone is. This microphone is going to pick up the focusing of the camera. It's going to pick up the people playing or whoever you're recording. So that is pretty much the rundown of your camera. So that runs down everything that is on the outside of your camera. The settings are a whole different object. I have a user's guide on the website, froknowsphoto.com, so you can then start to see what each setting does. But now that you know what each button does, make sure you try them out. See what works best for you. Photography is a lot of trial and error. The quicker you get to doing trial and error, the quicker you are going to advance or get better in understanding how your camera works. So I hope that this beginner's understanding guide rundown of your D3100 helps you out. For more information, always go to froknowsphoto.com. I'm always there to help you. Jared Poland, froknowsphoto.com. See ya!